大家好，我是阿万，今天是2025年的11月5日。昨天路透社的那个日报的话，我们快速播报了，就是说迪克·切尼的一个总统的去世。那纽时的话也算跟进的非常快，就写下了这篇评论文章。那基于此的话，就是先大致的去了解一下迪克·切尼他是谁，然后他的一个生平的一个大致的一个经历。不好意思直接用的是大家都知道的都知道。说那他的享年是84岁。那迪克·切尼的话是在1970年代初，就是他从成年之后，其实就开始就是在那个政府就是担任白宫的一个工作人员、总统助理，然后担任就是尼克松与福特政府时期崭露头角了，担任白宫的幕僚助理。那75年到77年，他担任年仅34岁担任白宫幕僚长，是美国史上最年轻的一个幕僚长之一，任职于福特总统时期79到89这10年是华人民州联邦的众议员。他在国会的表现的话，就是比较强硬，关注国防和财政政策。那8993国防部长就是任职于老布什的政府，主导了1991年的海湾战争、精准空袭和多国联盟政策著称。那95到2000年是在哈利伯顿公司任 CEO， 进入了能源产业，为其后在布什政府的一个能源与中东政策埋下争议的一个伏笔。01年到09年就是辅佐了美国副总统，就是作为美国副总统辅佐了小布什的一个时期。那911事件之后，切尼成为反恐战争的一个核心决策者之一，主导了伊拉克入侵与强化审讯的一个政策。所以说他的一个政策是带有非常多的一些争议性的。目前白宫是将办起以示哀悼，但是呢，因为这位总统的话，就是怎么说呢？从这篇评论文章中，给他的一个定调就是说，切尼的一个历史影响远超其生前。为什么呢？因为特朗普其实是继承了他的衣钵。尽管是这样，但其实目前为止吧，我看新闻，特朗普并没有为这位迪克切尼的一个死的话发布任何消息。有什么缘由呢？其实等会儿都会解释的非常清楚。因为在这篇纽时的一个评论文章 Roxanne Skin 的他写的话，就是说他整篇文章对于切尼的定调，就是说他的历史影响远超其生前。切尼去世的时候，他的政治遗产就是仍然在影响当下，他为行政权力扩张写下了指南。而特朗普其实是在续写这本书。那切尼是系统性的重塑了权力的机构，使总统权力凌驾于法律之上。所以说，切尼是以行政权一元论为基础，绕过了制衡机制，建立平行行政体系，主导了反恐战争、酷刑、国内监控。他的一个，然后呢，他的权力是相对比较专断，政策是冷酷的，他排挤不同意见的高官，如鲍威尔、奥尼尔，然后同时又推行在富人中减税，即便是在战争与赤字的时期。那就是切尼与特朗普，他的性格是迥异的。切尼是冷静理性，那特朗普是冲动直觉，但他们两人在破坏政权以滥用权力上其实是非常相通的。 尽管的话，就是说，晚年就是在去年的1月6号，就是总统啊、川普竞选总统失败的那个时候，在国会骚乱之后，切尼夫妇是公开的反对特朗普，甚至就是直接就表明说他是支持贺锦丽的，所以说他就通过这种自我救赎给自己挽回吧，我觉得。那怎么说呢？回顾他的历史说，他是播下了怀疑与愤怒的种子。那切尼曾制造了对体制的不信任，如今民众对制度警示就是已经稍显麻木了。那切尼的一个长期政治轨迹，就是从尼克松到福特，到老布什到小布什，以及他的一个1%的原则，就是如何成为美国外交的偏执逻辑。他以安全的名义，就是掩盖了欺诈与政治报复。切尼就是他明知情报可疑，那仍推进了战争，隐瞒了真相，并迫害揭露者，就是威尔逊夫妇。那所以说，切尼的悲剧说，他反对的世界正是他创造的世界。他启发了特朗普式的政治，就是以虚假为威胁、忠诚审查与紧急状态为统治的逻辑。即便说他晚年已经开始就是信奉了民主原则，但是也无法否定自己就是毁灭民主信任的一个根本责任。所以说，切尼不是一时的滥权者，他是以理论和实践构筑了总统至上的一个体制框架。他让紧急状态一个常态化，削弱了国会和司法的一个制衡，因为美国是三权分立嘛，那他让这种制衡就是平衡，就是消失掉了。那所以说，虽然说晚年的切尼转而是捍卫民主，但是他早期的行为就是摧毁了民众对体制的信任。所以说特朗普也并非异类，他就是切尼遗产的一个极端版本。从1%的原则到 truth social 及真理，都是一个统一逻辑的演化。所以说，切尼曾象征了理性强人，晚年却成为被自己创造的政治兽吞噬的一个知识分子。所以说，切尼的悲剧就是不在于他的死后被误解，而是在于他生前亲手铺就了一个无权利、无约束权利的美国，最终令民主制度就是为之付出了代价。就是怎么说呢？就是他死了之后，大家就放开讨论这一些，就是去评判功与过。就像咱国的某人，比如说毛泽东或者谁也好，就是死后的话，那大家就更加可以去怎么说呢？畅所欲言吧，或者思考，或者批判，就是说这个人他给我们带来什么的同时，但其实也带来了什么。所以说这篇文章是一个很有深度的文章，希望我的这种复述和解说能稍微帮助你理解到英文的部分。那接下去就是英文的部分，如果你还没有关注我的话，请订阅我吧。The Tragedy of Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney is now gone, but will still be living with his legacy for a long time to come. He wrote a playbook of how to exercise executive authority beyond constitutional boundaries and the rule of law. Donald Trump has added page and is working on a sequel. It was Vice President Cheney guiding his under-experienced boss, George Bush, who brought unitary executive theory into view. Operating out of a parallel executive office staff with people loyal to Mr. Cheney directly, he unleashed the war on terror, justifying brutal new tactics. an ill-conceived invasion and a system of mass domestic surveillance. He declared his priorities to meet national emergence, obviating the need to work within the structure of democratic power. He went after those Colin Powell, Christine Todd Whitman, Paul O'Neill, who stood in his path, and he prioritized the bank accounts of the wealthy by supporting tax cuts in wartime against the strongest of warnings. Disastrous as all those actions were, Mr. Trump has undertaken even more significant expansions of power and illegality, often under even more dubious terms of emergency. Basically, it's the war on terror model without the war. Mr. Cheney made it possible. The two men couldn't have been more different in manner and mass. Mr. Cheney favors careful planning with an eye to the long game. Mr. Trump insistently operates on instinct. Mr. Cheney, in the march to war, took pains to help cook up credible scene evidence. Mr. Trump has no need for evidence. Whatever he posts on Truth Social is his new reality. Mr. Cheney, cynic though he was, honored the details of the electorate. Mr. Trump, of course, did not show only when he won. After the January 6th Capitol incursion, Mr. Cheney and his daughter Liz become fierce and vocal critics of Mr. Trump. Mr. Cheney felt so strongly about the danger of a second Trump term that he abandoned the party he had served his whole life and endorsed Kamala Harris instead. It was a remarkable development for a man who had always played his cards so close to his vest, always positioning himself as a silent power. But then, however, it was too late. The people he hoped to reach were superstars or anyone who warned about presidential power or lectured about democratic norms. Mr. Cheney have done as much as anyone in history to undermine Americans' trust in his institutions and leaders, including Mr. Cheney himself. A false case for war will do that, so will the worst financial crash in 80 years, whose consequence middle and working class Americans were left to suffer undaunted. Many of them went on to join Mr. Trump's army of grievance and anger. The full story started decades earlier. Mr. Cheney was a White House eyed underage nation chief of staff, the Garrett Ford, defense secretary under George Bush during the 1991 war in Iraq, and the most experienced man in the room in the months after the September 11 attacks. Threats of a briefing about key leaders looking for fissile materials to build a bomb. Mr. Cheney uttered what would come to known as his 1% doctrine. If there's a 1% chance of terrorists getting their hands on weapons of mass destruction, we need to treat it as a certainty. This low probability absolutism become a guiding doctrine of U.S. foreign policy. It has cost blood and treasures in staggering amounts. Before the war started, Mr. Bush and Mr. Cheney were informed that Saddam Hussein might not, in fact, have weapons of mass destruction. They saw no reason to inform the public once Baghdad fell. What would it matter? For those who try to tell the truth, the consequence was swift. One ambassador, Jose Vision, undercut some of the administration's justification for going to war. Mr. Wilson's wife was outed as an undercover CIA officer, and while Mr. Cheney's top aide, Davis Libby, was convicted of perjury or obstruction of justice in relation to the outing, Mr. Cheney pressed the president to pardon him, barking, "You are living a good man." Wounded on the field of battle, Mr. Bush held his ground, but Mr. Trump has since overreacted. As Mr. Trump bombs boats that may or may not be transporting drugs, concourse a pretext to invade Venezuela, constructs loyalty tests, and viciously punish those who fail them, and declares fake emergence and word to justify his own partisan political ends. He should pause to thank the men who showed America how it could be done. For all his belatedly discovered democratic principles, Mr. Cheney helped to create the world that Mr. Trump inhabits. The contempt he showed for any constraints on his power paved the way for Mr. Trump, and the contempt he now shows for everything but his own naked interests. Thanks for your listening, and hoping your life fully with happiness and joys. Just sorry for the Nick the death.